Respected sadhakas, welcome. Remember all our 12 Vyaktitvas. Are we putting our due efforts for the Vikasa evolution of these 12 Vyaktitvas? Silently, beautifully, engaging in making blossoming these bud like Vyaktitvas in us for our life to have beauty and fragrance of spiritual evolution. The Lokaseva, the Dharma Seva, the Viragitva, the Bhaktatva, Shishyatva, Mumukshutva, Jignasutva, Sadhakatva, Shrotrutva, Parishrami, Prerana-yukta, Shanta-yukta Vyaktitva. All the six sources also, hope we are remembering, maximum, trying our best, and tuning to them with all the known means and invoking the blessings. Shruti Mata's Kripa, we necessarily need it. Guru Kripa, we compulsorily need it. And Devata Gana Kripa, we can never avoid it. And the Mother's Kripa is so essential. And Ishvara Kripa is, you can't go away with it. And what finally helps is Brahma Kripa. Let this be always lingering in our mind. Welcome for the study of Shwethashwathara Upanishad of Krishna Yajurveda, first chapter, Sambandha Bhashya. We are seeing how Bhagavan Adi Shankara bringing to our clear notice and understanding as to what we have to do and what we have to achieve. He is referring the other Upanishads, Smriti Granthas, and in a unique manner, which he doesn't do frequently in many other Upanishads. The references, quotes of Puranas extensively we are seeing here. Maybe he might have felt, he must have, कि बहुत कोट किया मैंने श्रुति स्मृति से पुराण कम किया है चलो श्वेताश्वतर is the one, let me take a chance. Because all Upanishad also, he is, in that there is yoga, in that there is karma yoga necessity, in that Antakarna Shuddhi topics are discussed. So many places, the bhakti is discussed right from beginning in श्वेताश्वतर. तो भगवान ने सोचा होगा चलो सब है ही तो मैं भी जोड़ देता हूँ. So he gave us all references from Purana is giving and how helpful it is in our understanding and conviction we are seeing. Only thing is repeatedly we have to do to register to understand. That is in our hands. Now today also will continue those Brahma Purana quotations followed by the Vishnu Dharma Purana also. Before that, let us do our Sankalpa Prarthana. Before that, like every day, spend few minutes in our contemplation, thinking about some useful things for our life. Today's things are three things we'll talk about. These are all nothing but refreshing what we have heard and understood all through our being together during our Shastra study. First is what? Though little bitter, but we have to accept it. Ki as we grow in age, depending on little punya and papa, little healthy and little unhealthy conditions may be there in the body, but aging of the body is a necessary thing which will happen, compulsory thing. Means we don't become young, we become only elderly, only old only. हाँ, बिकॉज ऑफ पुण्य थोड़ा सा अच्छा हेल्दी होगा शरीर. कुछ गड़बड़ किया, पाप हो या इवन पाप कैन बी इन 2 minutes बैक ऑल्सो. A wrong food eaten 2 minutes पहले, that is a papa enough to trouble our body with the disease. So that health and diseases, they are little differently reasoned. The prarabdha reasoned and what we do, isn't it? There and then that day, वो decide करता है. But the aging though hota hai, that is nobody can avoid. One may remain healthy for long, but he can't avoid becoming old. And the old age, when it comes, it brings all its, what do you say, lacuna or whatever its weaknesses or things it will bring, isn't it? The physical mobilities get reduced and all. So we all know it. Second is equally true is as we grow in age, new generation is coming, old generation's contribution and receiving is over. Therefore, the God, the nature, the people, they also reduce. Contacting this next generation. Minimize हो जाता है. We cannot avoid it. Whoever he may be. Now, who is visiting the ex-presidents, ex-CEOs, ex-ministers? Do we know many of them are still alive? But उनको कोई जाता नहीं उनके पास. Every field में ऐसे ही है. In so many government offices, every month ending, thousands of people retire. So, thousands retire. Officers also, lower cadre also. That day send off farewell, oh badhiya, rowing ye sab. But thereafter, who will go to them? 1 hour day, 2 days, 3 days. So, such things definitely will happen to all, isn't it? राजा महाराजा सम्राटों को भी ये इनेविटेबल होता है. We are seeing these topics exhaustively in our evening Ramayana class. So, what is it is, though to listen it is bitter, but this is the things which are definitely going to happen. Whether we know it or do not know it, feel it or do not feel it. Therefore, instead of avoiding, instead of having the suffering when such things happen, always it is better to prepare mentally and accept it. Mental preparations and acceptance reduce the gravity of its influence. तो we understood it, now we accept it. अब डेली सोचते रहो तो कैजुअल हो जाता है. या आई नो आई विल बिकम ओल्ड, माय बॉडी विल बिकम ओल्ड. आई नो आई विल बी स्लोली अलोन ओनली. एवरीबॉडी विल बी बिजी इन देयर वर्क. आई नो इट, आई एक्सेप्टेड इट. देखो कितना सुकून होता है उसका हार्ट में, कंसोलेशन हो जाता है. दैट इज व्हाट वी हैव टू विन विद इन आवर सेल्स. पॉइंट वन. पॉइंट टू इज व्हाट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि even when we are young or middle aged or elderly, है ना, those things doing which the results are tentative, results are uncertain, results are unsure. Even they are achieved, they are temporary. Is it wise to pursue that one? Or is it wise to pursue that when the pursuit concludes, it gives the substantial, beautiful, permanent result? थोड़ा सा यहाँ हमें पर्सनल बनना है. मतलब आई हैव टू थिंक इनटू माय ओन सेल्फ अबाउट माय लाइफ. इज माय माइंड स्टिल सीकिंग थिंग्स एंड बीइंग्स अराउंड, you know trying to make them my friends or make them favorable to me? These are all tentative, they're all uncertain. Even if my efforts succeed in getting the people as my friends, it can't be permanent, and it is conditional, and it is grosser, and it is external, and it is only in one angle or so that it will be helping me. Like if I get the eatables, only at the tongue level there is a satisfaction. If I get a good music, only for the ears. If a friend I get, only in some aspects he will help me. Isn't it? So They are all tentative, uncertain. Every effort of ours, when we are putting to get any of those things, tentative, uncertain, even if our efforts are perfect, we get the things, they are not complete, they are not continuous. पूर्ण भी नहीं होएंगे और शाश्वत नित्य भी नहीं होएंगे. Now, thinking all of that, we should know that even though it takes time, the time may be running into few lives. Let us pursue that one which is sure and which is once again permanent. The surety of Paramatma is Paramatma hai, वो सत्य है. हजारों शास्त्र are telling about him. So many great rishis have achieved that. Therefore, all that is a proof about the surety, certainty of that. And Yadgatvan and Nivartante, all of those tell us about the infinitude, permanency of that achievement. Therefore, as we grow in age, to help ourselves, we have to turn our attention of the Manabuddhi and their prayasa efforts away from the pursuit of temporary towards the permanent. Deliberately, consciously. This is the main thought. How much we are able to achieve it, that again depends on our own efforts, abilities, etc. But main point is what? Enough of the uncertain tentative things. Throughout life we try that. है ना, बच्चों को सुधारेंगे, पड़ोस को सुधारेंगे, भाइयों को सुधारेंगे, उनको ठीक करेंगे. अरे कोई ठीक नहीं होता क्योंकि सब ठीक है. और मेकिंग देम खुशामदी करके, हाँ कर सकते हो. Like you make your servant friendly, good. But what you will give? Like good food you will make, that's it, seva kare. These are all temporary only. Karo wo bhi. But let the whole life be not dedicated only for that. Thoda sa, as a result of studying Shastras, this thought within us should come. Inside us it should come, and then we should understand about, accept about the presence of the permanent, and then the thought should start within कि यार मुझे वो पाना है, वो पाना है, वो पाना है. फिर उसको पाने के लिए मेहनत करना, मेहनत करना. These thoughts should start becoming growing. है ना, जैसे बरखेदा मौसम आता है बारिश का, we start sowing all the seeds for them to give us crops. In the same way, coming to the Shastra Adhyanam is like the rainy season, and the seeds we have to sow are this type, wherein let me seek permanent, let me seek the eternal Paramatma Anubhuti, and let me put efforts with whatever energy, time, resources I have towards that. This is a thought, and this is where it begins, isn't it? And that thought, when becomes irresistible or stronger, obviously we'll be able to start doing things consciously. Second point is this one. Now, in connection with that alone, third point is what? Once we have decided to seek the permanent, seek the eternal. Now, with all guidances that are received from outside, helps that are received from outside, in the form of satsangs, in the form of advices, in the form of availability of the gurus, etc. More important, it is how much we have taken them into our heart and we are personally involving in them. Everywhere, like we have come to class, we are listening. Like I am also a speaker. The two विचित्र चीज होता है यहाँ, क्या है, I can talk, yet there are two options. Am I personally involving in it or not? Without personally involving also, like a tape record from the memory store, I can talk. Intellect will work in interpreting the shlokas because of the earlier habit. And it will go on suggesting mind will tell the mouth will talk, and I am not there in it. I can do this. And the other option is absolutely I am involved in what I am talking and I am meaning it first for myself. Isn't it? That helps me as a speaker. Otherwise, मेरे बात सुनकर आप मुक्त हो जाओगे और मैं इधर ही फंस रहूंगा. In the same way, audience, listeners, they can listen passively also, tentatively also, routine way, also mechanically also. But we have to become personal in that listening. We have to involve ourselves in it, as if everything is told for us only. Not that you collect the data and tell the wife or husband or dominate them this with this weapon called as Vedanta knowledge. And they have their own perfect defense system. तुम क्यों बोल रहे हो क्या बोलो मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा. You can do nothing there. They have one sentence से वो तो बन दो तुम तुम्हारे स्वामी वो बात की यहाँ नहीं लाना बस. इधर अलग है केस पूरा. One thing. In the same way, this is not at all enough for you to listen, for me to talk. Again, at home, I have to open the book again, study for myself. Study myself for myself. This many of us do, many of us miss it. There, in the listening, somebody is speaking to me. I am involved, but not fully. But when I myself study, isn't it? My effort is more there, my involvement will be more there. So स्वयं का अध्ययन जरूरी है. Thereafter, at the level of again mind, involvement of ourselves emotionally with this path, with this goal, with all these things that are to be done. Here also we miss. Our emotions are so beautiful and powerful that they can make us do great things. That's what we do, no? We are emotionally attached to the family and all brothers, sisters. Therefore, all forgivenesses we do to them, all helps and sevas we do to them, isn't it? Because of that emotion. No, that emotional strength we have to use even for spirituality. I have to involve. अरे यार इतना बढ़िया मौका मुझे मिल रहा है शास्त्र सुनने का, मैं उसका कितना यूज कर रहा हूँ. मनुष्य जीवन का पल पल, how much I am using? It is the going away. Emotion, feeling. This feeling we lack. Therefore, minute by minute, hour by hour, we waste in so many unwanted things. So many unwanted things. Precious moments. Every moment is precious for human being. That life is oozing away, isn't it? हर एक पल हमको अनुक्षणम कहते हैं वहां संस्कृत में. अनुक्षणम क्षण whether we do or not sadhana, क्षण तो जा रहा है ना. So as much wasted every kshana, so much it can be used to. What needs for it is the emotion, the feeling for the spiritual goal reaching, doing the sadhanas. To a great extent, the lethargy is removed if you have feeling. Because where there is a love, lethargy doesn't come that much. It is removed, it is eliminated. Like the love of the women at home to make food for the children and all. रात में 12 बजे सो जाएंगे तो उठ ही जाएगा 4-5. शी सेव करूंगी फर्स्ट में, बाद में सो जाऊंगा चाहिए तो. But her emotion made the tamoguna reduced or rejected or kept away. Emotion, प्यार जहाँ होता है, हम अपने साधना को we have to love, our goal we have to love, our spiritual life we have to value, respect, love. And this is again not I am telling you or somebody telling me or both of telling you. It is to be felt by oneself from within. Again, involvement of oneself. So listening में I am involving, studying में I am involving, emotions may I am involving. Then comes the toughest thing but most important thing, Fourth one, very, very tough. Key, intellectually involved in all the three things. One, has been the theory thoroughly understood or not? Intellectually. Then have intellectually involved and understood exactly the sadhanas or not. सुने होंगे हजार बार, लाख बार सुने होंगे, but I have to involve myself intellectually to grasp it. Like we speak about कर्म योग, भक्ति योग, अष्टांग योग, ज्ञान योग. अब ये बातें एक्चुअली हमारा पल्ला पड़ा क्या, उसमें सीक्वेंस क्या है, हमने समझा क्या, and where do we stand in that, what we have to do. This is the meaning of intellectually we ourselves have to involve. Be very clear. Exactly, undoubtedly, we must know. Isn't it? Like tentatively we say, withdraw from the world, purify, balance, and integrate the equipments, then transcend one by one from the gross to subtler and go beyond all. Like this, how many Shastras we studied, in each one of them, the process is very clearly said. Now we are studying this Brahma Purana, कितने systematically बताए. हर एक उपनिषद we are listening, but is it in our mind, intellect? So intellectually involved होकर we must know. Then again, as usual, most important is at this very moment what I have to do. I must consciously know and exactly do that. So in this way, when we fully ourselves apply for this path, listening also, studying also, emotion also, intellectual conviction also, and undoubted practice at every moment, then we are growing. टोटली ऐसा करना पड़ता है, तभी जाकर देयर इज रियली जॉय ऑफ डूइंग. ऊपर से भगवान गुरु को देखते हैं, यार इसको समझ आ गया है, ये कर रहा है, चलो लेट अस गो एंड हेल्प हिम. In a person whose listening is tentative, insincere, irregular, isn't it? Obligations and studying तो again irregular. तो हमारा insincerity इसमें पक्का पता चलता है. Remember, the Guru and God's grace, though unconditional always, but the reception of it depends on how sincere we are. These are all the sincerities. If I am not sincere in any of these things, which is proved through our very tentative, half-hearted involvement, then the grace also won't be received by us. It is there, but we don't. Like na, सुबह सुबह का बाहर का हवा, सूर्योदय, वो तो रोज होता है वो. But the one who is sincere, he gets up and goes out, then he will receive it. He'll have to, नहीं चलेगा, होता है सूर्य भगवान को काम धंधा नहीं उठते हैं. मैं तो सूर्यवंशी, सूर्य का यहाँ मेरा खिड़की तक आने तक उठूंगा नहीं मैं. And he comes into the खिड़की at 9:30-10 बजे. One person can every day enjoy early mornings, weather and sunlight. Other person can every day deny, depending on his own inner sincerity and all. So the emotions for it. So to the intellectual clarity. Among all of them, important is every moment what we are doing. Are we doing or not? Isn't it? तो ये सारे बातें जब तमस रजस कम होता है तभी पता चलते हैं. But we keep on trying to know these, they will come to our understanding one day. But remember, even though from our side, in doing all this, we may be serious, sincere, yet the Vyashti Samashti Prarabdha will not leave. उसको भी एक नजर रखना है, जानना है. अच्छा, the बीमारी प्रारब्ध, people misunderstanding प्रारब्ध. Today mind is in तमो गुना, अच्छा प्रारब्ध, रजो गुना प्रारब्ध. चलो फिर भी let it have its own track. I'll try maximum not to miss what I have to do. I'll try maximum not to allow that to influence me. I only try. That is our sincerity. Sometimes utter flop will be in our effort. Doesn't matter. Flop is not important. effort लगा है कि नहीं, that's important. Try. Our attention is on knowing, doing, knowing, trying, knowing, trying. Even little we have tried, success it is. Trying itself. In that never succeeded, never achieved, yet no problem. Because we can't know what we have in our lot as a earlier lives Purushartha and this life's Prarabdha. We can never know. समझ गए ना, बंदा को अच्छा खासा सब है, सडनली मे लैंड अप इन सम केस, नोन आर अननोन, ई में भी उसको घुस फंसाएंगे, उसको इज इनोसेंट, फंसाएंगे उसको, देन एविडेंस इज आल्सो एंड यू विल बी पुट इन जेल. पता नहीं सब था, कल तक ठीक था, अब आज जेल में. कल तक ठीक था, सडनली हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट हो गया. कल तक ठीक था, सडन, वी डोंट नो व्हाट इज इन आवर लॉट एवरी डे. नथिंग इज श्योर सर्टन, बट प्रिपेयर्ड. जस्ट टेलिंग इट, उसका भी अपना असर होता है. दैट इज द मेन रीजन विच बिकॉज ऑफ विच साधनास डजंट हैपन प्रॉपरली. इसलिए कहते हैं कि नया खचरा मत ऐड करना. isn't it? Otherwise क्या है, साधना कर ही रहे and adding the new dust and dirt also. Therefore the prarabdha will continuously trouble us, not allowing us to do sadhana deeply, intensely. ऊपर ऊपर मैकेनिकली होता है बस. It's just like throughout the day you watch TV, talk to the people, see the cell phone, and naturally all those impressions are in the mind afresh. आज ही बनाया. With that destroyed mind, use it for your study. You come to the class, you do the upasana. You are doing seriously only, sincerely, but hota nahi. Because you have spoiled your mind with all of them. Every day we do this nonsense. It's nonsense only, let me say. That is what in Upanishad only said, no? Medhaya pihidaha. Actually, the Medas is the one which reveals the truth to us. But in that Shanti Mantra, Taittiriya में कहते हैं, it is the Medas which is covering the self. You understood? And which Medas? This whole worldly information, worldly interactions, worldly formalities. For a true sincere seeker साधक के लिए ये सारे ruthlessly reject करने योग्य है. You cannot be casual in life anymore. We cannot take anybody, anything, any interaction for granted. Then it shows we are not serious, sincere. We are worse than a samsari who is sincerely doing his samsara. That is why he is at least happy little. We are frustrated here. है तो है साधक, कर तो रहे, वो कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा भाई. We are this. ये साधक should enjoy his doing, no? हमको करने में ही जॉय नहीं हो रहा, तो पहुंचना कब होगा फिर? क्यों नहीं हो रहा जॉय करने में? कर नहीं पा रहे प्रॉपरली. Why? So these are the things we are creating by ourselves. Mistakes, obstructions. Isn't it? घोड़े की तरह our life should be. The horse which is pulling the chariot or anything. How the patti बांधते उसके आंखों. Our life should be only towards our goal. इधर उधर little भी नहीं देखना. Little bit we see, we are distracted from the goal and we have allowed something to enter. That much sensitive we have to. So I give this is an example given how the added things every day they themselves become obstruction, and this becomes a habit. So many unknown inner calculations, manipulations happen, which express as obstructions when we want to do the higher and deeper sadhanas. देखो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल बियॉन्ड लिसनिंग, शास्त्र पढ़ना है, वहां तक भी हमारा मन या बुद्धि या प्रारब्ध जाने नहीं देता हमको. आर वी नॉट इन दैट स्टेज? वन स्टेज वी conquered of coming to class regularly, but are we equally sincerely studying at home, which is required? After that only the third stage of manana chintana comes. In that only the conviction about the goal and sadhana, then actual doing of sadhana. So उसका इफेक्ट होता भी है, but then doesn't matter. We will invoke Guru Bhagavad Kripa. We learn some of the tapasyas, etc. Tapasya means restraints, giving up. Tapasya means giving up. Some things which trouble us, we give up, and we just little by little move in that. Shurasya dhara hai ye, razor edges path, and there is no path. We can cross, many crossed. So this is how we have to first about as we grow, the sharira and the things, beings, conveniences around get reduced. That's the first point, accept it. Second is just be intelligent. Should we want to pursue the uncertain, unsure, tentative things or sure and certain permanent thing? Then in that pursuing that permanent thing, the steps involved in them, how much we are personally involved. Whether it is listening every day, whether it is studying every day, whether it is emotions every day, whether it is intellectual comprehension every day, then the actual doing of the sadhana every moment. हर पल साधना में कम से कम भगवान का नाम चलता ही रहना है, हर पल. दैट्स इट. कम से कम एक सेकंड भी और किसी के लिए नहीं देना. क्या देना? No, our time is for us. No, nobody deserves our time. People, they don't deserve our time wastage. No, they want material things. Let them earn. You are not here to create material things and destroy your lifespan and give them. Now at this age, nothing doing बस हर पल मेरे लिए कीमती है. कम से कम भगवान का नाम, ज्यादा से ज्यादा नहीं हो. ज्यादा से ज्यादा इज डीप कॉन्टेम्पलेशन ऑन आवर एसेंशियल नेचर. Like Advaita Anubhuti, how Adi Shankara Bhagavan was teaching us. These are all the Pramayadi Trayam and I am Pramayadi Vilakshanaha. So he was giving the example of the snake and how it leaves the twacha and never gets identified. He was giving the example of Surya Bhagavan giving Prakasha but untouched. He is giving the example of Akasha in various ghata, but itself never gets conditioned. How wonderfully that text is guiding. So to how Rama guided us regarding the anishtitata, aniyatata of all those which are opposite to our sadhana. What a nicely we are guided. उपनिषद also देख रहे हम योग में, पातंजल योग में हमने कल देखा संयम on विवेक ख्याति when it is done. How we become the adhishtatritva and even sarvajñatritva. Even इसके प्रति भी जो वैराग्य है कैवल्यम. Today we are going to see that. So in this way, when we positively, creatively, constructively engage these things, self-confidence develops. Joy of living life develops. At that time, in this way, when we live, then only the unnecessary worries regarding those which are not in our control will be able to avoid them. And unnecessary involvements which are not required. From that also we can free ourselves. अदरवाइज इतने शास्त्र पढ़कर फिर वही कन्फ्यूजन, वही क्या कहते हैं विक्टिमाइजेशन, वही इन्वॉल्वमेंट इन अनवांटेड थिंग्स एंड स्टिल नॉट कन्विंस्ड अबाउट द गोल एंड मीन्स. सोच रहा हूँ, अभी सुन रहा हूँ बाबा जी को तो, बट अभी आया नहीं मेरे को पकड़ में, समझ आया नहीं. चल ठीक है देखते हैं. नो, वी हैव टू बिकम इन्वॉल्विंग, वी हैव टू बिकम सिंसियर. Let God, Guru's blessings be fully received and utilized by us. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Sarashibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo गुरुभ्यः. येरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याता सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तो पुनः पुनः निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। भव एव भवानिति मे नितरां समजायत चेतसि कौतुकिता मम वारय मोहमहाजलधिं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं दत्तमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यमेवमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि। परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषद आचार्येभ्यो आदिशंकरादिभ्यो नमः। तेषां सर्वेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य वैदिक हैंदव संस्कृतेः मोक्षमार्गाणां गुरुशिष्य भक्त भगवत परंपराणां शास्त्राणां भक्ति योग ज्ञानादि मार्गाणां पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थं ये भक्ताः साधकाः शिष्याः सेवकाः आचार्याः महानुभावाः गुरवः अस्माकं च अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्धनिष्ठिताः तेषां सर्वेषां बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रुविघ्न निर्मूलन आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेमस्थैर्य वीर्यादि प्राप्ति शक्ति साधना सानुकूलितानां प्राप्ति द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदः आदिशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारं अव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकंठं नमाम्यहं। प्रथमोऽध्यायः शांति मंत्रः। ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम अथ संबंध भाष्यम। Yesterday we have come up to this point. Now, very important. Straight away, evam buddha jagadrupam vishnor mayamayam mrusha. Pause here. Evam buddha, having fully understood, convinced this way, comprehended, apprehended. Evam buddha. What? Jagat sarvam vishnoho mayamayam. Whole jagat of Rupanama Dvaita is Vishnu Maya and Mrisha for no reason. It is his Leela. And if you are not careful, you are lost in it. Therefore, it is Mrisha. Any dharma, acharana value, sadhana value, only these two maximum. Even dharma acharana also, once the duties are done, sarva dharman parityaj. Only sadhana value. और साधना भी inside है. So outer world से तो कोई लेना देना हो ही नहीं सकता. Mrusha is the word important. So evam buddha jagat rupam vishnoho mayamayam. Then what he says mrusha. Then first bhoga asangat bhavet mukta. When the whole world is Vishnu Maya, unreal, understood na, what first concept should be is bhoga asanga should go away from us. Bhoga sangat bhavet mukta. These are all moha and maya only. That through these upadhis, in the objects of Shabda, Sparsha, Gandha, we involve as if for a bhoga. You know, चूस के आम खाते, चाव चाव से चाउमीन खाते. अरे ये सब मोह है. The ananda is inside only. But we don't want to pause and think deeply. And in the deep recesses, what are there are only vasanas, which prompt us to indulge, involve in these things thoughtlessly. Every bhoga is because of vasanas thoughtlessly. If somebody is thoughtful, he knows the bliss is inside. And the outer involvements are only giving reflected bliss, that also with so many of efforts in procuring those things. And they are not permanent. So he understands this mrushatva and bhoga asangat tyaktva. So bhoga asangat bhaved muktaha. Point 1. सेकंड त्यक्त्वा सर्व विकल्पनाम, फिर बाहर और भीतर में विकल्पनाओं को छोड़कर, विकल्पना मीन्स एनी परसीव्ड ड्युअलिटी, नो मोर reality given to it. These two go together. Wherever we give reality to the perceived duality, bhoga asanga will be more. And wherever bhoga asanga is more, the reality to the duality is given. These two happen because real reality is not understood, and all of them are marusha, it is not understood. इसलिए बुद्धवा विष्णु मायामयम जगत, देन भोगा संगात भवेद मुक्तः. Second one is त्यक्त्वा सर्व विकल्पना. Don't entertain oneself in the vikalpas, the multitudes, they are not real. उनको नजर ही करना है, नहीं लगाना, देखना भी नहीं. We are here to discover the one self. So त्यक्त्वा सर्व विकल्पनाम. Then see that त्यक्त सर्व विकल्पः च स्वात्मस्थं निश्चलं मनः कृत्वा. त्यक्त सर्व विकल्पः स्वात्मस्थं निश्चलं मनः कृत्वा. मनः निश्चलम स्व आत्मस्थं कृत्वा. मन को निश्चल बनाओ थ्रू जपा पूजा एंड स्व आत्मस्थ. लेट द माइंड इन द contemplation of its own self go and get stationed, established in the self. Exactly this what Bhagavan Krishna gives in one line the entire meditational technique in chapter 6. एक ही line. आत्म समस्तम मन कृत्वा न किंचिदपि चिंतयेत. बस यहाँ न किंचिदपि चिंतयेत पहले बताया, आत्म समस्तम बाद में. वहां पहले आत्म समस्तम फिर न किंचिदपि. सी व्हाट इज न किंचिदपि चिंतयेत, ऑल द विकल्पना त्याग जो बहा. फिर स्वात्मस्तम मनः कृत्वा, देयर आल्सो आत्म समस्तम मनः कृत्वा. बोथ टू मीनिंग्स ऑफ दैट सेंटेंस. आत्म समस्त करना है मन को, मतलब either the definitions of the Atman which we have studied, let the mind be contemplating on them. That's one meaning. Second, Atma Samstam is where this mana is coming from. That becomes Atma of the mana. Let the mana focus on it. That also leads to the same self. और उस सेल्फ के बारे में ही, सेल्फ के बारे में शास्त्रों में इन शब्दों से बताया हमको. What definitions are given for the Atman are of that only, which is the source of the mind. So मन का आत्मा पे दृष्टि लगाओ, या आत्मा का निर्वचन जो हमने पाया सत्यचित आनंद करके, उस पे मन लगाओ, ध्यान. दैट्स व्हाट. सो सर्वम विकल्पम त्यक्त्वा आत्मसंस्थम मनः कृत्वा स्वात्मस्थम त्यक्त सर्व विकल्पश्च स्वात्मस्थम निश्चलम मनः कृत्वा. देन शांतो भवेद योगी. And be quieted. In this effort only, the Rajoguna, Tamoguna, along with all vasanas go away. That's the meaning of Shanto Bhaved Yogi, Dagdha Indana Iva Analaha. Like when the fuel is over, how the Anala, the fire, quietens. So too, the Indana of the vasanas, Rajoguna, as it is getting exhausted, the fire of mentation, the fire of the fluctuation of the mind slowly quietens. Then what? Then what? What self is eternally there, that is realized. वो ऑलरेडी हमारे अंदर है, हमारे रूप. But the agitating mind, projecting the world, involving through the upadhis of indriyas in it, so throughout. Now Vishnur Mayamayam Mrsha, therefore Bhoga Shakti Tyaga, at the outer level Bhoga is given up. Instead the Vikalpanas are also given up. Then the mind is made Atma Samstam and keep on doing it every day for months, years, as much it requires. Then that is resulted in the quietening of the mind, like Dagda Indana Ivanalaha. Once the mind subsides, quietened mind is Paramatma. Disturbed Paramatma is mind. Outward mind is called Jagat. इतना ही. till it happens, keep on doing. Like दो लोग खांसी सर्दी से डॉक्टर पास गए, he will give syrup and tabs to both. एक का 4 दिन में खत्म हो गया, then he can stop medicine there. डॉक्टर साहब मैं ठीक होगी, मैं कंटिन्यू करूँ क्या? कोई जरूरत नहीं है. तो अदर फेलो 10 दिन कोटा हो गया उसका, बट दिन फिर भी खत्म नहीं हुआ. ही सेज एक और एक हफ्ता बढ़ाओ, टेक 1 more week. नो यू कांट ब्लेम द डॉक्टर. उसको एक आधे में खत्म कर दी, मेरे को तो डबल बनाया. योर डिसीज इज लाइक दैट बाबा. So too, for some people, quickly happens when this is done. The result of quieting the mind, and quiet mind is Atman experience. For some of us, it may take years, lives together. Don't think about anybody when you are on path. Your goal, your path, you keep on walking. There is no comparison with others. उसको जल्दी हो गया, मेरे को लेट हो रहा है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. It's not a running race competition कि मुझे उससे पहले यहाँ कर जीतना है. ऐसा नहीं है ना, ये तो अपना पर्सनल है. तो keep on. Like when I am going to my Badrinath with my family, why will I worry कि कोई बहुत स्लो जा रहा है, कोई बहुत स्पीड जा रहा है? उसका अपना है, मेरे को क्या? मुझे अपना देख. I have to be interested in my journey and destinations. Don't be worried. Comparing with others, उसको जल्दी हो गया, मेरे को हुआ नहीं. Because out of so many self-inflicted diseases, one of them is this jealousy. Then that jealousy percolates onto the guru. कहते हैं कि गुरु ने उनको ज्यादा ब्लेसिंग दिया, मेरे को कम दिए. ऑन द अदर हैंड उनको डंडा बनना चाहिए. बेवकूफ, दूसरे ने विथ ओबीडियंस ज्यादा ब्लेसिंग उसने लिया, तुमने मेरे ब्लेसिंग को इंसल्ट किया, तुमको डंडा पड़ना चाहिए. एक्चुअली यू आर केयरलेस. गुरु's blessings are same. If somebody has progressed well, means he tuned well. He has utilized that grace. If we have not grown, means we are not doing proper efforts. Anyway, so come to this point now. Evam buddhva jagadrupam Vishnor mayamayam mrusha. The entire jagat is mayamayam and mrusha hai. Therefore, bhoga asangat bhaved muktaha. The concept of bhoga from the mind, that day when we select and delete permanently, we start becoming yogi. The concept of bhoga, the concept of enjoyability. Isn't it? Only dharma and seva and yoga, these three are there. There is no bhoga. Even I eat the food, that also is seva only. That also is yoga. Because when I eat, I am alive. By being alive, I can serve the world or do my sadhana. I sleep. That's not a bhoga. So that I can refresh and again be on the yoga. And any other thing which is only bhoga and entertainment. Whether it is playing with children or playing with the toys or being in front of TV, सब भोग है. पूरा डिलीट कर देना चाहिए अपनी जिंदगी से. No need of them. Why we have to go for it? That Vivek should have. Chandre Mahahladini Dipyamane Chitrendru Maloikaitum Kaichet. When a full moon is beautifully in that sky, instead of going out and enjoying him, अब कोई पिक्चर में चंदा मामा का फोटो देख के आनंद ले रहा है. अरे महाराज, जब रियल आह्लाद चंद्र है तो वाई आर यू गोइंग फॉर इट? चंद्रे महाह्लादिनी दीप्यमाने चित्रेंदु मालव कई तुम कई चेत, अदर देन मूर्ख. So too through study of Shastra, when the Atma Ananda we are told we can gain, instead of going with that, why should we go for this reflected bhoga, reflected sukha through the bhoga? Let us pray to this. हे भगवान, हमारे हृदय से concept of bhoga निकाल दो. That I have something to enjoy outside. That's the meaning of आवृत चक्षु. क्योंकि चक्षुओं से भोग, कान से भोग, टंग से भोग हम कर ही जा रहे हैं, इसलिए नो टाइम फॉर योग. That is the meaning of bhoga asangat bhavet mukta. It is not we are giving up the objects of enjoyment. No, the concept of enjoyability is dropped. भोग वृत्ति को हमें निकाल देना है मन से. ये भक्त को भी ये करना होता है, करता है वो. श्री राम मैं सब जग जानी. तो हर चीज भगवान का रूप है, कैसे मेरा भोग वस्तु हो सकता हूँ? इसलिए सब भगवान को भोग चढ़ाते हैं वो लोग, नॉर्थ वाले. दे डू इट करेक्टली. सारा भोग भगवान को चढ़ाया, अब तुमको क्या बचा? योग। भोग भगवान को दे दी, योग ही मैं बन गया। वंडरफुल। दिस रियली गुड। भोगासंगात भवेन मुक्तः त्यक्त्वा सर्व विकल्पना। सर्व विकल्पना है, उसको छोड़ो भाई। एवरीथिंग इज प्रोजेक्शन ऑन लॉर्ड, एनी नेम एंड फॉर्म, नथिंग बट प्रोजेक्शन, अनरियल। देखो इसका आदत लग गया मानो हमको, वी स्टार्ट डांसिंग बिकॉज द माइंड इज गेटिंग फ्रीड फ्रॉम ऑल दिस नोशंस एंड इमोशंस एंड कमोशंस। सब कचरा निकल रहा है। व्हेन फ्रॉम द बॉडी, all the bacteria, virus, or unwanted material impurities, when they go away, how active and alive the body becomes. है ना? Because of wrong food and excessive food and oily food and non-essential food eaten, every cell and pore and nerve and veins of the body is filled with so much dirt. That's the reason for our being very lazy, lethargic, isn't it? And all diseases, abnormality. How through variety of yogasanas, pranayamas, diet control, ये सारा कचरा निकाल दिया ना, बॉडी इज लाइक रबर बॉल जंप करने लगेगा. Even at the age of 70, 80, one can be like that. Mentally also same. When the bhoga asanga is given up, sarva vikalpana is given up, the delusions are going away. The true meaning of true peace is being found. Then there is a loadless joy. You know that goods train ना, जब जाती है कोल को लेकर 20-22 बोगियों में, डंप करके जब खाली वाली आती है ना, कितना मजा आता है वो आराम से. Any lorry also, heavy load lorry has taken and dropped, coming back khali khali. Kitna, oh, he is enjoying only. So to our mind and life is filled with so many unwanted loads. These are the process by which we are unloading all of. Once they are unloaded, there is only a joy. So, bhoga sangat bhaven muktah tyaktva sarva vikalpanam, then tyakta sarva vikalpaha cha swa atmastam nischalam manah krutva. Okay, that bhogasam को छोड़ना, विकल्प को छोड़ना is व्यतिरेक साधन. Outer world is dropped, inner thoughts are dropped. It is only half of the sadhana. The other half is अन्वय sadhana. For that only it is said कि त्यक्त सर्व विकल्पः स्व आत्मस्थम निश्चलम मनः कृत्वा. The Anvaya sadhana is let the mind be established in the self. As I told you, two ways. The source of the mind, let us search, or let the mind be searching the meaning of the words which are employed to define the Atman Vastu. So, Nitya, Nirantara, Nischala, Akhanda, Eka, Advitiya, each of the word is indicating to us to meditate on. When meditated, that inexplicable self is reached. That's the meaning of putting the mana in the Atmastam. Then what happens? Shantaha bhavet yogi. In that effort only, the mind's agitations go away. Shanta ho jata and Shanta bhavet and bhavet yogi. He becomes the yogi. Dagdha indaniva analaha. Thereafter, the inner mind's agitations running, the outer worlds, all of that Dagdha, absolutely Shanta. Only one Paramatma is there. Just like on the TV screen, so much of action is going on, of emotions, or fightings, or humor and all. अब suddenly your TV बंद कर दिया हमारा, शांत. All of them are projected only. When you reject the projection, what remains is shanti. In the same way, in our own self, whole cinema is projected and we are excited in seeing that. That's called samsara. All the projections rejected, we are with our own self shanta. That is a moksha. स्कूल्स, कितना टेंशन, दिन भर सुबह 9 से शाम 5. आप गर्मियों के बहुत छुट्टियां देते, समर हॉलीडेज, आप गो टू दैट स्कूल, इतना शांत. आई एक्सपीरियंस इट बिकॉज पीछे स्कूल है. द स्कूल टू मी इज फ्रॉम दिस थर्ड फ्लोर, इट इज हार्डली 3 meters डिस्टेंस. 3 furlongs नहीं, 3 meter ओनली. You know, this only. And throughout the day, अब समर हॉलीडेज चल रहे हैं ना, कोई बंदा नहीं, शांत निश्चल, छुट्टियां चल रहे. So to let us give chutti to the inner bhoga shaktis and outer kalpanas given reality. सब छोड़ दो, शांत. That's the meaning. Now again about this prakriti थोड़ा टच कर रहे. एषा चतुर्विंशति भेद भिन्ना माया परा प्रकृतिस्तत्समृद्धौ. This is what Paramatma's Maya Shakti, which is expressing in the Chaturvimshati Rupa. This is the cause for projecting and giving reality to the unreal whole outer world, which I've already seen, even the inner world also. So, Esha Chaturvimshati Bheda Bhinna. So, this Maya Trigunatmika has got these 24 tattvas. You know, what are all of them? Then that Mahatattva, Ahankara, 5 Tanmatras and their 16 Vikrutis. Mula Prakriti. Main is Mula Prakriti. Then comes Mahatattva. Then comes Ahankara. Then 5 Tanmatras. कितने हो गए? Mahatattva, Ahankara, 5 Tanmatras, 7. Mula Prakriti is 8. This is Ashtada. And its modifications are 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, 5 Panchamahutas, 15 हो गए, 1 Mana. Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, Panchamahamuta, Mana. These are all the Vikrutis, modifications of the main Prakriti, which is of Ashtada, where is Mula Prakriti, Mahatattva, Ahankara and 5 Tanmatras. गिनते हो गए ना? मूला प्रकृति, महातत्व, अहंकार, 3. पंच तन्मात्रा, शब्द स्पर्श रस गंध, 8 हो गए. From the tanmatras, the stula pancha mahamutas come. From this ahankara, all this we have seen them in yoga darshanam. है ना? साधना पाद में exhaustively we have seen it. Which comes from what and all. उन सबसे भी दूर रहना करके. याद है कभी? थोड़ा थोड़ा सा गुमशुदा तलाश याद करो तो. प्रकृति का, when this topic of the purpose of the prakriti par purusha is bhogartham. At that time, the prakriti is explained to us. 2 places it came, in fact. Samadhi pada also it came and sadhana pada also. So 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, 5 Mahamutas, with Panchamahamutas, all Stula Shariras are made. 1 Mana. हो गए ये 8. This Mana only functionally बुद्धि चित्त अहंकार भी बनता है, तो वो उसमें नहीं डाल रहे. एक Mana, which is one अंतःकरण, 5 Jnanendriya, 5 Karmendriya, 5 Panchamahamutas, 16. These are all Vikruti, the second modifications of the main Mula Prakriti, which is Ashtada. उसमें Mula Prakriti, Mahatattva, Samashti Ahankar, and then Panchatanmatra. 8 plus 16, 24. All of them are the ones Maya Para Prakriti Tat Samutthav. From that only all the seen outer world also projected and inner also. Now the inner things are listed out here. These all have come in Bhagavad Gita in 13th chapter under the subheading of Kshetra. Tat kshetram yaccha yadnukcha yadvikari yataschet sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shrunu. Rishmir Bhagavad Chandovir Vidai Prutak Brahma Sutra Padai Sevetmadhir Nishchay. Now he says Mahabhutani Ahankaraha Buddhi Avyaktamevacha Indriyani Dashaikam Cha Panchachendriya Gocharaha. Then their modification Ichha Dvesha Sukham Dukkham Sangata Chetana Dhruti Etat Kshetram Samasena Savikaram Udah. Same thing we have seen in our Aitareya Upanishad. संज्ञानम प्रज्ञानम विज्ञानम आज्ञानम मेधा मनीषा ज्योति संकल्प क्रतु असु काम एतत् सर्वे प्रज्ञानेत्राणि प्रज्ञानम ब्रह्मा. ऐतरेय में याद है, बड़ा है, मॉर्निंग ओनली वी स्टडीड. So here also the internal things are told, which are nothing but the modification of this Chaturvimshati Tattva Yukta Prakriti only. Tattva means the items of Prakriti, not that the Tattva means is reality. Aspects. What are these? From these 24 Prakriti saying Kama Krodhau. In our mind, the desire and anger. I said to काम क्रोध का परिचय तो मुझे तो देने की जरूरत नहीं है. Continuous. I want something wala thought in the mind. And krodha, the wrath and anger toward that obstacle which stopped us to get that kamita vastu. Kama krodha, then lobha moha, greed and delusion. Lobha itself, moha, लोभ के कारण मोह बढ़ता है. ग्रीड और भी मुझे चाहिए. लोभ मोह, नो लोभ. I can foresee our Prime Minister next year 2025 में उनका 75 साल हो जाएगा. Is enough of it, somebody else I'll make Prime Minister. No need of greed. that इतने उम्र हो गया, बूढ़े हो गए, फिर भी मैं ही रहूंगा. No need to have लोभ of anything. पावर का, इसका, उसका. बस मैं अपने आप में तृप्त हूँ. Is a trick of intellect, defeating the trick of the mind called as greed. Greed भी लोभ एक ट्रिक होता है, बट मन का है. But freedom from the greed by replacing it with the trupti is a trick of the intellect. You can see on the dining table. You can test. इतना डाला हमको, खाया, फिर भी लोभ और भी चाहिए. It's all trick of mind. दो तेते बस नहीं चाहिए, बहुत नवाजा. Say contented with it. It's a trick of the intellect. Body will be also healthy. Will not be slave to that eatable. And then इतना खाया, बच्चों को बचा ही नहीं. Dignity of maturity is in contentment, irrespective of the age. Even at the age of 90, we can be greedy. Even at the age of 10, 15, 20, we can be content. नहीं इतना चॉकलेट पीस कॉफी, नहीं 10 दे दो मेरे को. जिसने तृप्ति को पाया जिंदगी में ना, उसने सब कांकर की, भोग को कांकर कर दिया. तृप्त. Lucky are those who are तृप्त. Therefore they withdraw from everything. एक बार देख लिया और खुश. मैंने देखी एक सीरियल, एक बार समझ में आ गया, मुझे तृप्ति है. अब फिर से देखो ना, हर दिन देखो ना, अब क्या है मेरे को पता नहीं. आई डोंट लाइक, आई एम हैप्पी. एवरीवेयर समबडी गोस टू तीर्थ यात्रा, एक बार तृप्ति हो गई उनको. अब क्या बार बार जाऊं. आई एम हैप्पी. हो गया, मेरे को जो मिलना था मिल गया. इवन द गुड थिंग्स, पॉजिटिव और इवन नॉन पॉजिटिव होगा. तृप्ति इज ए ब्यूटीफुल क्वालिटी. That santosha is one of the gateways for moksha. Shamo vichara santosha. Santosha means santrupti. Chaturtha sadhu sangamaha. So santosha is the trupti is the hetu for moksha. When I am contented, I don't pursue. Mind is calm and quiet. Go inside. It is only a greed, na? That बार बार हमको और भी जीना है. क्या योगी बनने के लिए, भोगी बनने के लिए? That's called asantrupti. And that thought, only by Guru God's grace comes. कि same routine things I am involving in the things and beings and bhoga. अरे थोड़ा रुको मैं ना. Why is it that a disease in me that repeatedly indulge in that when there is something permanent to know? ये वाला thought आ गया तो then रोक हो सकता है उसका, the greed का. It can be replaced by the trupti. So shokam kamakrodhau, lobha mohau, then bhayancha. The inner bhaya is also modification of the mana only, which is a modification of the samishti ahankara. Then vishada shokau. Vishada, the tragedy, shoka is misery. So kama krodha, desire and anger, lobha moha, the greed and delusion, bhayam, the fear, vishada shoka, the tragedy, sadness, and shoka, the misery. Vishada buddhi में होता है, शोक मन में. Then vikalpa jalam, continuous projections in the mind. Vikalpa मतलब going on doing kalpana. ये नहीं तो वो, ये व्यक्ति नहीं तो वो व्यक्ति, ये वस्तु नहीं वो वस्तु. If not this, that. विकल्प जाल. So कितना चंचल होता है हमारा मन इन विकल्पों से. Most विकल्पता is in the food. Variety of food चाहिए. Different way I have to eat it. Whole thing is on. Some people have विकल्प जालम of the dresses. 100 dresses they bring and daily सोचते हैं आधा घंटा कौन सा पहनूं. कहाँ जा रहा है, कहीं नहीं जा रहा. अब कुछ जाके और नहीं रहा, कपड़े भी बेचते हैं. But he's worried. And some have the different lipsticks or matching dresses or abhushan, विकल्प जालम. Some have the 10 cars. किस में जाऊं मैं? घोड़ा ले एक उसके ऊपर जाऊं. वेराइटी रहेगा. विकल्प जालम, that also minds a projection. Next comes dharma, dharmau. The idea of dharma and adharma also is in the prakriti. In pure Paramatma, it is not there. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. He is. Then sukha dukkhe, the pair of sukha and dukkha. Just सृष्टि विनाश पाकौ, है ना, सृष्टि का बनना और विनाश होना, these three things. Then नरके गतिः, going to the naraka. Then vasah swarge, going and staying in the swarga. Then jatayah cha, the variety of births of manusha, pashu, pakshi, vanaspati, they are called jati. Then ashrama cha, in the human being, the brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, ashramasu. Then ragadveshau, terrible two enemies of attachments and aversions. Then vividaha vyadayaha, physical bodies at every part of the body. Then we can talk about the mental diseases called adi. Then kaumara, the childhood. Then tarunya, the yuvavastha. Jara, old age. Then viyoga, the bereavements. Sanyoga, coming together. Bhoga, then the bhogasu. Then anashana, vratani, the vratas of not eating, etc. उपवास का करते ना. उपवास मतलब changing the diet. We do. Anashanani, vratani, iti idam idrugvit ayam nidhaya. So all of these are coming from the Maya only. Iti idam idrugvid with ayam vidhaya tushni masinaha. And the one who knows all of them are prakriti only, ऊपर के सारे वो सब छोड़कर तूष्णी मासीनः, the one who is seated in that तूष्णी स्थिति, सुमितम सुमतिम विविद्धि. Oh my dear, you know him to be the real Sumati. And in the list of all what we studied, all of them are said by Lord Krishna in one word, सर्व धर्मान परित्यज. धर्म मतलब प्रकृति के धर्म, माया के धर्म, महत्त्व के धर्म, अहंकार के धर्म, तन्मात्राओं के धर्म, फिर पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रियों के धर्म, पंच कर्मेंद्रियों के धर्म, पंच महाभूतों से बना हुआ शरीर के धर्म, मन के धर्म, ये सारे उनके धर्म है. In pure Atma, none of these are there. Atma is only pure Satchidananda. It's only illuminates. Then all of them are in the Prakriti. They are not in me. I am the Purusha. I am only a witness. I am only a present. In my presence, the Prakriti dances. Raja need not dance with the Nartaki. He'll have to only enjoy it. That's it. So to the Prakriti is Nartaki. She is doing all that. And why you dance with her and fall down and get the hand, leg, hip bone broken? कोई जरूरत नहीं. Just watch. He is called as सुमतिम विविधि. इसका दिमाग खुल गया समझो. मति सु हो गया है उनका. The one who understood all of these to be nothing but Prakriti. सारा आ गया इसमें list. Tomorrow I'll repeat all of them once just to browse through. With this, Brahma Purana quotations are over. Tathacha Shri Vishnu Dharme Shadadhyayam Adhyayam. So there is another Purana, Vishnu Dharmottara Purana it is called, or Vishnu Dharma Purana. In the 6th chapter of it, in the same line, lots of things are said. What are they? We will study them tomorrow. Now, what is the whole topic? Don't forget. Ekameva Advayam Brahma alone is real. Other than him are all false only. The Pura Pakshi's problem was what? संसार रियल है, छूटेगा नहीं वो. इसलिए हम उपनिषद पढ़कर परमात्मा को जान ही नहीं सकते. Therefore, no chance of moksha. That was the objection raised by him. We saw it 10 days back. उसका आंसर देते हुए Ekamaevadvayam Brahma is first proved through all Shruti Smriti Purana quotation. Then other than Brahman, everything else is Mursha and Maya. And बातों बातों में मैं साधना में बता दिया कि knowing that all that is Vishnu Maya, then bhoga sangha you drop it, then vikalpana you drop it, then make the mana atma sanstha continuously till all the indana gets burned and you become shant. And to help you in substantiate, anything other than the Atman is made out of Paramatma's Maya Shakti, which has got main 24 tattvas. Mula Prakriti, Mahatattva Ahankara, Panchatan Matras, then Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, Panchamamuta, Mana. From that only the whole internal outer things are there, which are neither self nor real. दिख रहे हैं लेकिन रियल नहीं है, अनुभव में आ रहे हैं लेकिन रियल नहीं है. They are all manipulated. The whole list of काम क्रोध लोभ मोह भय विषाद शोक विकल्प धर्माधर्म सुख दुख सृष्टि विनाश विपाक नरक गति नरके गति स्वर्गे वास जातय आश्रमा राग द्वेषौ विविधा व्याधय कौमार तारुण्य जरा वियोग संयोग भोग अनशन व्रतानि इति इदम ईदृग विदम अयम निधाय तूष्णीम. सारे प्रकृति निधाय, इसको छोड़ दो. बट तूष्णीम आसीनः सुमतिम विविध. Very profound is this thought, which we, at the very low level, we studied. They are called as the Avadhutas. They are called the Mahayogis. They are called the Siddha Purushas. They are called the great Sadhu Sannyas. Bas, Tushni. Highest level. There is nothing other than me. I am already that. Where to go, what to do, nothing to involve in. Highest stage it is. Right? Tomorrow we'll see Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Parabrahmane Parabrahmane Shruti Matre Namaha Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Come in 5 minutes.